city, I bet they know all the latest dance steps.
I don't think so. And do they have to be girls from Toronto? They won't know how to drive a tractor. They won't want to sleep in a bunkhouse with 20 other girls and wait until they see the 9-holer that the farm services built.
A 9-holer. Good place to sneak a cigarette and do a little reading. They do think of everything.
Our farm will be the base for 20 girls. That bunkhouse over there was already here from World War I. They've cleaned it up and put in about 20 cots. They get paid while I work for free. And they get off at noon on Saturdays.
Well, they do have to pay room and board. $6, I believe. And you know, Velma, I heard that some girls were so eager, they took a course in driving tractors.
Learning to drive in the city and driving without hitting any trees are two very different things. They'd better not touch any of my brother's stuff. Not his tools, not the harnesses, not the tractor. And if it even...
Here, be nice.
One day in May, I'll come and say, happy the bride.
Stop singing that song. I hate it.
Velma, these girls are going to be our saviors. I can tell you're going to get along with them like a house on fire. I'd like you to meet my daughter Velma and her friend Violet. These poor girls have been working trying to harvest my peaches day and night. And I need to get those peach baskets onto the wagon to take to the train station for 6:15. Velma and Violet, I'd like you to meet Claire, Betty, and Fran. And of course, their supervisor, Miss Mason. She is the camp mother from the YWCA.
A camp mother? That's nice. Tell me, does she do all the cooking and cleaning? Funny, I can farm as well as take care of the house.
Frances? My mother would like me to be called Frances.
Of course, we're so glad to have you here, Frances.
We have to say hi. Hi, Frances.
Hello, Velma.
Hi.
Oh, hello, Claire.
So, the girls are all set up in the bunkhouse. Each of them has a cot and an orange crate. And, of course, Miss Mason over here, she's introduced them to the 9-holer.
That's been my first eye-opener. I don't think I'll tell my mother about it, though. Sharing a bathroom with other girls.
Well, yes, it will be efficient. 20 girls in this house to have breakfast and make their lunch and be out the door by 7. The facilities, they will be efficient as long as no one lingers there.
Not much chance of that, Miss Mason. Why don't you come with me to the house and we'll do the paperwork. Let's see, 20 girls times 35 cents an hour.
Girls, remember to take your salt pills. The sun can be scorching out there and you're not used to this weather. And remember to drink your water.
Come with me.
My mother told me to wear this hat. She got it from Eaton's before I came.
Oh, it's a beauty. Nothing like that in Beamsville for sure.
Thank you.
Well, come with me. The paperwork is all figured out with the girls.
Oh, what is that smell?
Manure. Haven't you ever smelled fresh manure before? Get used to it.
My gosh, peaches as far as the eye can see. How long does it take to pick a basket?
How many do we get to eat?
You are here to pick, not to eat. It takes me about 8 minutes to pick a 6-quart, but it'll probably take you much longer. Don't get any leaves in the baskets either. And I'd be wearing long sleeves if I were you. Peach fuzz might bother your skin.
I don't want a rash. I don't want sunburn either. My Frank loves my skin. Ooh, who's Frank?
My boyfriend. He's a Royal Canadian engineer. He's not home yet, but he will be soon. And then we're going to get married. I've got my dress picked up and everything. And I bought a new book to read here. It's called Dr. Spock's Baby and Childcare. Who knows what the stork will bring?
I sure don't.
But I would have liked to be in the engineers. They get to fix the trains.
We're not paying you to fix things. That's my brother Bill's work. He bought this new tractor, a wonderful John Deere with a 2-cylinder engine, and didn't even get to use it before he got called up.
Well, isn't he coming home soon? The war was over last year.
Claire, you could be Rosie the Riveter. I saw her picture on a poster once. And Velma, isn't your brother in a prisoner of war camp?
He'll be coming home soon. Everything will be different. You girls better get to work. Claire, Fran, take that section over there. And you, go over there and watch what you're doing. Put the ladder on level ground. Once we're done with this section, we'll move on to hoeing.
What's the matter with her? You think she'd be happy to get some help?
Girls, I'll tell you, but you have to promise you won't say anything. Her brother's wife, she just up and left. Took off with another man. Someone from Hamilton. They dread telling her brother Bill. A sin in a prisoner of war camp, and now this? Some men go through hell after the war.
That is tough. Just to up and leave when her husband is over there fighting for his country?
I didn't know things like that could actually happen.
Well, she was probably lonely. Bill's been gone for over 4 years now. That's a long time to be without your man.
Don't I know it. I read Frank's letters every night.
Maybe we could cheer Velma up somehow. Take her somewhere.
Have you seen Beamsville? Thompson's drugstore is the only place. I don't think my singing will cheer her up. But how could she be blue on such a beautiful day? Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. It's great to be outside in overalls instead of inside the classroom listening to boring stuff like the proper use of a semicolon. I've never had so much fun.
You know, in Britain we'd be called the Land Army. My mother loves that. She's British, you know. The Land Army over there is working very hard to feed all the people. My mother sends my uncle in the British Army tea and cigarettes. You know the saying. Keep him in fags and morale won't sag.
My morale certainly isn't sagging. And this thing was such a good way to get out of our exams. I was going to fail Latin for sure. As soon as I found out that the government would make sure you got your senior matric without taking the exams, I was all for enlisting.
Me too. Mother thought I should get out of Toronto for the summer. See what country people do. Widen my horizons before university. Take you back to the house. Are you alright? City people.
Laundry night, after working all day, and once these clothes are dry, we'll have to iron them.
I never appreciated everything my mother did.
Oh, girls, don't grumble. I've got such good news for you. There's to be a dance at the Leonard Hotel in St. Catharines, and one of you is going to be crowned Miss Farmerette of 1946.
Dance? We're exhausted. How can we dance with sore, aching feet? Oh, I wish my mother were here to rub my feet.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Fran, you're 18. Are we to dance with each other, or will we get partners?
Well, no. I've been assured that the soldiers from the barracks in Niagara and Allenburg have been invited to help swell the ranks. Oh, I do hope it's one of you girls that will be chosen to be Miss Farmerette. You must think of a little entertainment. I know. Claire, you can sing. And Fran and Betty, do you know any recitations or poems? Good. There'll be time for that on the program. The Minister of Agriculture is going to be there. And you might even get to be on CBC radio.
My mother would love that. Imagine us on the radio.
Well, how is Miss Farmerette going to be chosen?
I do believe it's going to be a combination of enthusiasm and talent. We can invite Thelma and Violet to come to the dance as well.
Well, maybe dancing with the soldiers will be the carrot. The local girls are already annoyed. Last night, we hitchhiked into town, but the only place to go around here is Thompson's Soda Fountain. But there were a few cute boys. Velma and Violet didn't like us talking to the local boys one bit. But one boy was really smitten with Fran. He even picked us up and drove us home. Fran kept talking and talking and talking to him.
Oh, really? Do you think so? Oh, he was so tall and blonde. Who knew a sunburned farmer could be that cute? But I know my mother wouldn't like it. She thinks I'll meet someone at university. Someone who's going to be a doctor or maybe a lawyer like my father.
Fran, your mother isn't here. And that boy was cute.
Well, so it was so nice of him to drive you home, what, with gas rations and all that? There doesn't seem to be very many cars here in Beamsville. Only a few pickup trucks. But in a small town, everyone just pulls together.
I was just happy with the soda. Who needs boys when you have chocolate? Now if we can only get bananas. Haven't seen one of those since before the war.
Some boys know all about this camp. They said they might come and raid it at midnight. Wouldn't that just be so exciting?
Exciting until the dog starts barking. I hope Mr. Top doesn't have a shotgun. Well, I'm gonna be asleep as soon as I hit the pillow. All this hard work and fresh air. Oh, shh. Here comes Mother Mason.
Oh, it's so nice to see you girls all working together, hanging up clothes. We're all one in this war effort. Oh, girls, after all your hard work, let's get them off the ground.
I can fix this line. Hold on, I'll get some tools. Oh, my silk nightgown. Now I'll have to wash it all over again.
We don't have this problem in Toronto. There are birds. Birds!
It's fixed, girls.
Good job, Claire! But you better put that toolbox back quick. Velma told you not to.
Put my brother's toolbox back and don't touch it again.
Now, Velma. Claire was only trying to rescue the laundry. I'm not trying to change the subject. But, well, maybe I am. There's going to be a dance at the Leonard Hotel. Would you and your friend Violet like to come along?
The Leonard Hotel. That's all the way in St. Catharines. How would you like us to get there? Hitchhike?
Well, no, there's going to be a special bus for the Farmerettes. I think you and your friend could use a break. And I've already talked to your father about it, and he thinks it's a great idea.
I'll think about it. But right now, there's work to be done. The carrots need thinning. Violet's waiting at the vegetable garden to show you what to do. The idea, girls, is to leave the strongest carrots and pull out the weaker ones. Try and figure out which are carrots and which are weeds.
The tomato plants look like weeds to me.
Well, now you know. And bring a hoe, not a rake.
Hoeing? Blistered hands again? Who wants to dance with a girl with blistered hands? I hope Mother brings me lotion for the dance.
Let's get to work. I promised my dad I'd go down to the train station to help him unload the wagon.
Oh no, once you know it, a wagon load full of peaches and the tractor doesn't start. If only my son was here, We bought this thing just before he left, but we didn't have time to figure out what made it tick. And the grocery stores are waiting for this peach delivery, and I don't have time to monkey around with it.
Can't you just leave the peaches here for one more day?
No, the peaches have to be on the train tonight.
Peaches don't keep. That's why they're called tender fruit. They have to be loaded into icebox cars on their way to Montreal tonight. Didn't your mother teach you anything? Why does everything go wrong? I'm sick of everything. I'm sick of this war. I'm sick of this farm. I'm sick of worrying about my brother. I'm sick of taking care of my father after my mother died. I'm just sick.
Let me have a look at that tractor. Maybe I can help.
What would she know? Another thing I'm sick of is her pretending to be a mechanic.
Well, she did fix the clothesline. And thank heavens for that. It took us forever to get the farm dirt out of our clothes.
Well, not all of us fall out of ladders on a regular basis.
Farm dirt? What about city dirt? What's the difference?
Velma, this is the first time I've really washed my own clothes. Before, my mother used to do everything for me, but now she has a job in an office. I find it's better to do things for myself.
Well, if we're going to be housewives, we need to learn how to cook and clean. That's what men are looking for. Frank will be so pleased I actually know how to take care of a garden.
Well, you're not the fastest one with a hoe, that's for sure. But you, Fran, I've never seen you work so hard. You've probably made the most money you've ever made.
Well, I didn't stop to eat any.
And just take all of this fruit for granted. I never knew you girls could eat so much.
You're right about that. But seriously, Velma, now that the war is over, what do you and Violet want to do for yourselves?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Maybe get married. Although, I'd really like to see Toronto. Maybe Linda's Height, get a job in an office?
You could go to business college. I think there's one in Hamilton.
We haven't really had time to think about it. I just wanted to keep the farm in one piece until my brother got home. Between the crops and the money and my mother dying.
Things are changing, Velma. Bill might not want to come back to farm.
I just want things to be the way they were before the war. Bill will come home. I know it.
Whew, she did it. She did it. That city gal. She went to the tractor, took the carburetor apart, figured out what was loose, and put it back together in a jiffy. A man could have done it any better.
Bill could have. But I'm glad it's fixed. Claire, you're a lifesaver. Everything depends on us being able to get the peaches on the train. Good job.
Claire, you're Beamsville's answer to Rosie the Riveter. You should be crowned Miss Farmerette.
Dancing around with boys wearing a silly crown on my head? That's not my style. But I sure wouldn't mind being a mechanic.
You'll find a way, I'm sure.
Goodbye, Latin.
Well, I hope you don't stop singing. You could be a singing grease monkey. And do sing at the talent competition.
Well, I've already decided that I'll recite. Mother wanted me to recite one of Winston Churchill's speeches, but I've created my own poem. I'm calling it Ode to a Nine-Holer. But the only thing I can think of to rhyme with holer is molar.
Well, I hope to be wearing a crown and some new nylon stockings. My first since the war ended. I'm waiting for a package from the Tea Eaton Company.
Real nylon stockings? Wouldn't that be heavenly? No more leg pain.
Well, Violet, I think we should go to this dance too. Maybe check out some of the boys from the barracks while we're at it. I hate to say it, but I think we've really learned something since you girls have been here. We were supposed to be teaching you new things, but I think you taught us a thing or two.